So, Kirti, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
This is getting to be fun, huh?
Right,
Meeting
right.
every once in a while to have this
It
chat.
feels like we're in the same place all the time.
It's true. But anyway, today we're going to talk about one of our favorite topics,
Right.
industry events. It's getting to the season. Everybody's starting to prepare
Right.
their travel budgets, where they're going to spend their money. And we always, that's where we meet at
Right,
industry
right.
conferences. That's the opportunity that we have to get together. So, what was your favorite this past conference
year?
season?
I thought Localization World was great in Berlin this year. It was much more engaged, much more intense. I look for lots of technology subjects, in the conference, and Localization World I thought was very good. And it covered it in a deep enough way without being like too hardcore. And they also had coordination with the translingual event.
Yeah.
So you got to see a lot of the non-industry people and their view of language technology, because they're thinking in terms of search, they're thinking in terms of just sharing information.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Well, I am a big fan of Localization World. We actually sponsored them this year. And I think that you have it's kind of the smorgasbord of the industry, with all the different tracks, and there were so many, 6 tracks I think there. And sometimes you have a hard time choosing which one to go, because there are many that are good. But when you have volume, you can balance content. I agree. I think that Localization World was very good. I tend to have a few favorite events that I tend to go back all the time, because I really come out with something with
Which ones were your favorite?
Well, I liked this year. I liked the ATA conference in New York. I was very impressed with the organization, and the content was very good. All the sessions that I attended were very good. I liked Elia in Istanbul. I must do my little.
Even though you had all real travel.
Oh, the volcano!
Challenge,
Yeah, I got stuck. I had to travel to Scandinavia, to Sweden by car for 3 days in a row because of the volcano.
To see Europe now.
I got to see 10 countries in 3 days, like one of those jokes.
Right.
And of course, the full disclaimer here: I'm a board member of of ELI, of the European Language Industry Association. But I think that the way the event is organized, the way the content is set, it fits the audience, and there's always something fresh, something new that comes out of those conferences. And I like very much, these are small events, and I know that you enjoy them too. IMTT.
Right, the IMTT one in Argentina, I thought was a wonderful event. It was really an eye-opener for me, because I saw the dialogue between the translators and the translation service companies, and that was something you always miss, and you see that tension, and when you see that tension, you see new possibilities of collaboration,
Exactly.
like fixing the broken model.
Yeah, and this is what I like. It's the conversation. It's what you have also in the ATA is you have the LSPs.
I went to an ATA event in Phoenix that I liked as well. So it was also a single track.
Yes.
And there were not tons of sessions. It was 60 people focused on one continuous track, and it was good. So you have a common theme all the way through, and everybody connects.
Yeah, for me, since I'm a conference junkie, I go to all of them. If they invite me, I'll go.
Right.
If they want a speaker, they invite me. They know that I'll just give me a topic and I'll have an opinion about it. But there are different channels for different purposes. I really like local events that are organized at a regional level, at a language level, that address issues that are pertinent to the local players.
Right.
So I was in a very good one in Portugal called Tradulínguas. It was very interesting. The ones in Argentina were very good. This year, Brazil had their second conference.
I wanted to come, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting content, very well organized, a lot of fun. Especially fun for me because it was all in Portuguese, so I could tweet in Portuguese.
But what about the IMTT one in Think Latin America.
Think Latin America. Yeah. That was a smaller event. The content was outstanding. The venue, unbeatable. Right. Búzios in outside Rio de Janeiro, like a resort town. But I think that it fell short of their goal. I mean, the audience was not appropriate for the content. Right. But the content was outstanding. It was not your usual suspects. You had people talking about the Olympic Games and language during the Olympic Games, volunteer work. You had Coca-Cola talking about their social work across the globe and how language affects that. You had MGM talking about localizing TV shows for different Latin American countries. It was a very interesting thing. And think Latin America, I like that. I used to say many years ago that why concentrate so much in Asia where you have so many languages? Latin America, you have an economy that is equivalent to China's, and you only deal with 2 languages and you cover a bunch of people there. Right. So it's a good target market.
Right.
Yeah. But where else did you go? I think that you go to the AMTA conferences and things like that. How are those?
I missed the last one, but I went to the one in Hawaii. There was some very good, interesting tracks, but it was very technical. So if you're not really from the machine translation community, it would be hard to connect to that. But there's new leadership in the AMTA now, and Alan Levy, he's a professor at Carnegie Mellon, and he assured me, and he was at this ATA conference in Phoenix, and he told me that they're linking the ATA conference together with the AMTA conference.
Yeah.
They want to see much more interaction.
Oh, they actually invited me to review some papers, so maybe I'll come this year.
I think it looks very promising, from the tone that Alan has set, and just the outreach that they have. They're trying to reach to the LSPs, they're trying to reach to the translators, in a way that they never have before. So I think it could become the technology event.
That would be very good. There's also, when we were talking about the regional events, the ALC. You were talking about the TCD, the ATA TCD, the Translation Company Division. There's also the ALC here in the United States, which is similar to the ELIA conference in Europe. So in Europe, you have ELIA, EUATC, that does events every 2 years.
Right.
You have TM Europe, which is focused on translation memory. I haven't been there yet. You have the ATC in the UK, which is a very good event. I participated a couple of times. So we haven't talked about Lisa. What's your take? Have you been working with Lisa?
Yeah, they had some great events last year. Like there was one on crowdsourcing, right before the Localization World. That was very good. It was a round table more than a conference, and it was a very intensive information sharing thing that was supposed to go electronic, and to have the information continuing to be shared. It never really happened, because people are so focused on an event and then it's over. And
that's a pity, because Lisa, I for a while they went into this pay for play model, and it wasn't good. But I've seen that things have changed and the programs seem more interesting. But the big ghost that we haven't talked about is Gala.
Right. What did you think? I went to the one in Cancun, and the content was good, but there were so few people. I mean, there were 1 or 2 sessions. There were 2 people in the room.
Well, I have a little bit of an agenda against Gala. I think that it's the wrong focus. They shouldn't be organizing events. The one in Prague, I went to give them a vote of confidence. I didn't want to criticize without being there, but I was disappointed. I think that the association is spending a lot of money and a lot of effort focusing on the wrong way of generating. But this could be the topic of another conversation.
Let's end on a positive note.
Yes.
One of the best ones I went to last year was the LRC, Localization Research Conference.
Yeah.
Again, single track, and deep technical stuff, but very broad new visions of innovation focused.
And Reinhard does a good job there. I missed that one because
Reinhard
I missed
and Fred. I think Fred Hollywood.
Yes. Oh, Fred also. Yes, from Semantic.
They were responsible for the content.
I was supposed to go there, but I missed a train in Dublin or something.
Really?
I couldn't get there.
It was a good conference.
Yeah. Anyway, so I look forward to our next conversation.
Okay.
Good Good to see you.
Good to see you.